Hi everyone, so in this video we will be learning about Terraform architecture, Terraform workflow and some important files in Terraform. Okay, first of all let's start with Terraform architecture. Suppose you have to create an EC2 instance on AWS cloud. Now what will you do at first? You have to create some Terraform configurations files in which you will put the resources you want to deploy, and you will mention all the properties of that resource. You will define the configuration of that resource. Okay, and important point to note here is you have to create the files with an extension of .tf. All the Terraform configurations files will end with .tf extension. Okay, then this files will be picked up by Terraform, and Terraform will verify all the details you had mentioned. Terraform will verify the syntax of the script, and Terraform will determine what exactly you want to deploy. Then Terraform will go to AWS and Terraform will say, yeah, create an EC2 instance. Simultaneously, Terraform will also create a new file, terraform.tf state file, in which Terraform will store all the information of your resources that are managed by Terraform. Like if you are creating an EC2 instance, so Terraform will manage the information of that EC2 instance, like what is the name of the EC2 instance, what is the ID of that EC2 instance, how much storage you had attached to EC2 instance, which AMI you had used to create that EC2 instance. All of these details are to be stored in this TF state file. So this is very important file for Terraform. Without it, Terraform can't work. So Terraform performs its operation by looking up into this file every time. Okay. Then this your EC2 instance will be created by AWS. After EC2 is deployed successfully, then AWS will send back a message to Terraform, yeah, EC2 is running now. Then Terraform will inform user that EC2 is running. Okay, so this is a basic Terraform architecture, how Terraform exactly performs operations. So after architecture, we'll see Terraform workflow. So what actually workflow means, I am just explaining what are steps required to deploy your resources using Terraform. So the first step is we'll write some configurations files, right? We have to mention all the required resources into some files, and we'll say those files as configurations files with the extension of .tf. And the second step is initialization, init. So in this step, we'll run a Terraform init command to initialize all the dependencies, to download the plugins, required plugins, to initialize the modules that we had mentioned in our configuration. Okay, we'll see this in detail, every step in detail. Also, I'm just explaining a workflow, how actually you will create resources using Terraform, what steps, major steps you need to create the resources using Terraform. So in third step, we'll run Terraform plan command to verify that whatever we had written in our script is performed by Terraform in the same way, and Terraform is deploying the same resources whatever we had written and we required. So in this step, we'll verify all these things, and once we are confident enough that whatever we had written, Terraform is exactly doing the same thing, whatever we want Terraform is performing that only, then we can run another command, Terraform apply command. In this step, Terraform will actually deploy the resources into a cloud provider, whether it is AWS or GCP or Azure or any other. And at last, if you want that you don't need resources now, you have to destroy all these resources, then you can run another command, Terraform destroy command. So this is basic workflow of Terraform, how to deploy resources using Terraform and how to destroy resources using Terraform. So that's all about workflow. Now we'll see some important files that are created during these steps. So here are some important directory and files in Terraform. First one is .terraform, and second one is .terraform.log.html file, then terraform.tf state file, then terraform.tf state.backup file. So we'll see all of them in a while in detail. So let's start with an example. Suppose you have main.tf in your working directory. Now when you will run terraform init command, what happens? You will see output something similar to this. So Terraform will initialize the backend, Terraform will download the plugins, and Terraform will download the modules. Okay. Now where will Terraform put this plugins and modules. So there must be a folder of file where Terraform can put all this. So we'll see in next slide. So after running Terraform init command, you will see Terraform will create a folder and a file. The folder name is .terraform and the file name is .terraform.log.html. So Terraform will keep all the plugins and modules in .terraform directory. And this file .terraform.log.html file, we'll see what is the use of this file. So when you open .terraform.log.html file, you will see its content look similar to this. So you can see that it contains versions. Okay, so this file is used to ensure the consistency in Terraform deployments. It captures the exact versions of provider plugins that is used during the previous successful run. Okay, it helps to guarantee that subsequent runs will use the same version of dependencies, and thus it will reduce the risk of unexpected changes. Understand? Clear? And one more thing, that you should always put this file under the version control with your Terraform configurations, as it ensures that the entire team is using the same version of dependencies. So you should always version control this file. So now after running Terraform init command, we should always run Terraform plan command. And this Terraform plan command is used to create an execution plan. It will analyze the configuration files in your Terraform project, and it will determine what actions actually need to be taken to achieve the desired infrastructure state. And it will determine which resources need to be created or modified or destroyed. And it will give you a detailed execution plan that describes the changes Terraform will make to your infrastructure. So basically, Terraform plan command is primarily used for previewing and validating the changes before actually applying them with Terraform apply command. Hope you understand this part. So Terraform plan command simply used for previewing and validating the changes. Okay. So now after running Terraform plan command, we'll run Terraform apply command. And whenever you run Terraform apply command or Terraform destroy commands, Terraform will create or updates a file called terraform.tfstate file. And this file keep the track of state of your infrastructure. This file is used to keep the track of the resources that were created by Terraform, and it will determine what changes need to be made to your infrastructure. So we can say that this is very important file. We can't afford to lose this file. So to protect this file against accidental losses or corruption, Terraform automatically creates another file, terraform.tfstate.backup file. So basically this file is a backup file of terraform.tfstate file. So it will contains a copy of previous state file before any changes were applied. And it can be useful in case when you need to revert to the previous state or you want to recover from an error. So now let's quickly jump to VS Code and see all these things in practical. So here I had created two files, main.tf and variables.tf. One important point to note here is why I had created these two files. I can also put them in single file, but why I had created these two files? Because it is common practice in Terraform to organize your infrastructure code into separate files for maintainability and reusability of your code. If you will write all these things into a single file, then it will be very difficult for you guys to reuse that code and to maintain that code. So that's why we should always create separate files like this, main.tf, variables.tf. Okay. Now we'll run our first Terraform command, Terraform init command. So it is initializing backend and it is initializing modules that we had mentioned. I had not mentioned any version here, but it is picking up the latest version, as you can see. It has created .terraform directory and it is installing the plugins and modules in this directory. So now Terraform init command is successful. Now if you'll see in this .terraform directory, you can see modules is here and providers are here. Okay. Now our second command is Terraform plan command. So this will generate a plan for us. This will show what exactly Terraform will do. So we have to read it very carefully. Okay. you can see. So here Terraform is creating a bucket with all these properties, and Terraform is creating another bucket. This third is it is blocking the public access for this bucket. So Terraform will create two resources, two S3 buckets. Now we are okay, we are confident that yeah, we want this same only. So we'll run our next command, Terraform. And you can see one more thing. So one more file is here, terraform.log.html. I forgot to introduce this file. So if you will go in this file, you will see something like this. So here Terraform is maintaining the version of AWS. You can see constant. That means your version should be equal to and greater than 4.9.0, and current version is this. It is the latest version of AWS provider. Like suppose if you want to use 4.8 version and you mention in Terraform block that I want to use 4.8.0 version, what will happen? Terraform will throw an error that your version should be greater than 4.9.0. So what you can do, you have to first delete this file and then you can run Terraform init command. But you have to make sure that whatever the resources that you are using in that script is not outdated. Okay, so this is all about terraform.log.html file. Now let's move again to Terraform apply command. In this step, Terraform will actually deploy the resources. Terraform apply. So now Terraform is asking, should I deploy these things? So you just have to go through it once again. It is okay, it is okay. Now we'll give permission to Terraform. Yes, you can. So Terraform is creating our buckets. So bucket creation is completed in just seconds. And you can see a new file is created, terraform.tf_state file. What is this file? If you will go inside this file, you will see something similar to this. So it has all the details of our resources. Like we had created bucket, it has bucket AR and domain name, all ID, everything, whatever we have in bucket properties, it contains everything. So it have the details for all the resources that we had created through Terraform. Now suppose I change my environment name to prod. This we are doing for testing purpose. I just want to show you something. Now if we'll again apply Terraform apply command, what will happen? Terraform will check that what we had changed and it will perform accordingly. So Terraform is checking and it will tell us that we had changed the tags, and Terraform will update this property, environment property, to prod. So we are okay, then we'll say yes, you can. So now Terraform is modifying the environment property of S3 bucket. So it is completed. Now you can see that there is one more file created by Terraform, terraform.tfstate.backup file. Now what is this file? I had already explained you that it is copy of the previous version. That means whatever we have previously in terraform.tfstate, it comes here. So if you'll see the tags of our S3 bucket, it will be the previous one, not the current one. So I'll search for tag. So here you can see that this file contains environment dev, but we had changed to prod. So it is the copy of the previous version. Okay. Now, if you will see in this current file, terraform.tf_state file, you will see that it contains the prod one. Okay. So now you can understand what is this terraform.tf_state.backup. It is a copy of the previous tf_state file. Okay. So that's all about the practical session of this video.